What's up, Meta Nerds? This video's all about Alpha 17, a member of the Alpha class Advanced Recon Commandos, which were the first ARC troopers. Technically, the first were the Null-class Advanced Recon Commandos, but the Kaminoans only ever cloned 12 of them, of which only 6 survived, and they were too unruly and not suitable for mass production, so they were given to the Mandalorian mercenary Cal Skirata in exchange for his continued service. Skirata was a member of the Khoi Val Dar, the 100 Mandalorians that were assembled by Jango Fett for the purpose of training clone troopers. The Kaminoans' second attempt was with the 100 clones of the Alpha class ARC troopers, and of this batch, they were most impressed with Alpha 17, realizing that this clone had the kind of thinking that could win wars in real battlefields. All of the Alphas had unaltered minds and enhanced muscle growth, so they were much more creative and capable on the battlefield. But Alpha 17 seemed to stand out even amongst these elite clones, drawing the personal attention of Jango Fett. The galaxy's greatest bounty hunter, ironically considering his demise, instructed the Alphas to always be obedient to the Jedi, but he also snuck in a strong conviction that they must destroy the cloning facility if it were to fall into the hands of the Separatists. The first time these elite troopers saw combat was when the CIS invaded Kamino in 21 BBY, when a panicked Lama Su realized that the ARC troopers had to be deployed before the droids overran the cloning facility. Alpha 17 joined Shaak Ti, Obi-Wan, and Anakin, but he horrified these Jedi when he rigged up explosives to the growth chamber, stating, "They grow up loyal to the Republic, or they don't grow up at all." Luckily for these unborn clones, Alpha 17 and the Jedi were able to repel the droid army before the need to resort to these drastic measures, and the detonation sequence was deactivated. Following this mission, Alpha 17 accompanied Anakin and Obi-Wan to the Gungan colony moon Umadun, where they found hundreds of dead Gungans that had been strewn across the city. They were set upon by the bounty hunter Dirge and the Dark Jedi Asajj Ventress, but the team was able to hold their ground, forced their attackers to flee, and realizing that this trooper had just saved his life, Anakin felt bad just calling him a clone, and had the compassionate, albeit uncreative thought, to give him the nickname Alpha. Their next assignment was to the outer rim world of Jabiim. This planet had just seceded from the Republic, and the first waves of attacks against the Jabiim separatists did result in a Republic victory, but days of heavy rainfall got most of the walkers stuck in the mud. The separatists pressed this advantage and sent more droid reinforcements, a combination that resulted in heavy clone casualties, and even the reported death of Obi-Wan and Alpha. They were last seen trying to rescue troops from a sinking ATTE, and were thought to have been killed in the resulting explosion. In actuality, they had been captured by the Separatists and transferred to a torture facility on the planet Ratatak. Of course, with Obi-Wan as an ally, this pair was able to escape and rejoin the Republic, where Alpha was reassigned to Kamino to teach all of the skills he had learned from his assignments, each of which threw difficulties at the Republic forces that were not predicted by the simulations, and with his experience in the Ratatak prison, he could show techniques on how to resist torture. The Kaminoan cloners decided to take the advice of the Mandalorians, saying that they should expand the training used for those first 100 Alphas, and they appointed Alpha 17 to expand the ranks of the Advanced Recon Commandos. These ARC troopers would undergo a training program that was much more physically and mentally stressful, and was specifically designed to present scenarios that could only be conquered by thinking outside the box, while forcing the clones to realize their own personal strengths and weaknesses, instead of just trying to fit themselves into the combat mold that had been taught to them since childhood. This program would force clones to develop their own personalities and start to think creatively on the battlefield, and so to recognize the change in the ARC troopers' psychology, Alpha had them take their own nicknames instead of using their numerical designations, remembering that Anakin had done the same for him. Some of the most notable graduates of this program include Gree, Appo, Fordo, Bacara, Cody, Wolffe, Thire, Bly, Neyo, Oddball, and of course Rex. But sadly, it was not his destiny to enjoy retirement on his homeworld, as his last mission brought him out to the Outer Rim sieges with Bail Organa and Adi Gallia, and it was during the assault on Boz Pity that Grievous knocked him to the ground and drove a lightsaber through his abdomen, hitting his spine, and though Alpha survived, he feared he would never walk again. Grievous and the CIS forces were driven off, but Asajj Ventress's body was captured, and after being declared dead, she was loaded onto a medical transport, along with Alpha 17, and sent to Coruscant. The Dark Jedi had merely slowed her bodily functions enough that she appeared dead, but she sprung to life and ordered the pilot to take her far away from the war. With this hijacking of the medical transport, Alpha 17 was also captured and was never heard from again. Given the fact that it was Ventress who failed to get information out of him on the planet Ratatak, I fear that Alpha may have met a grisly end. So that's it for the story of the founder of the ARC Trooper program. And the only behind the scenes fact is that Alpha 17 was originally set to be in the Star Wars animated movie, but Lucas thought there would be way too many names that started with the A sound, like Anakin, R2, Ahsoka, and now Alpha, and so they created the character Rex, whose design was inspired from Alpha 17. And if you were wondering what that unique looking blaster was, it's the Westar M5, an incredibly powerful rifle that could fire in semi-automatic, fully automatic, or in burst fire modes, while also containing an under-the-barrel grenade launcher. So that's it for the badass founder of the ARC Trooper program. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to check out our social media, or ways that you can help support this channel, be sure to check out the description down below. If you want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you get notifications. But more important than all that, remember, always think of creative ways to kill droids, and the Force will be with you, always.